The guest room door was half open. My suitcase was still in my hand. The wheels hadn't even stopped spinning. I heard a man laugh. Low. Comfortable. Familiar in a way that made my spine tighten. I stepped closer, slowly, quietly. His shoes were by the bed, not tossed carelessly, placed there. Like he belonged. My house smelled different. Not dirty, not wrong. Occupied. She walked out of the bathroom wrapped in my towel. She froze when she saw me. For exactly 2 seconds. Then she shrugged. "Oh, you're back early." No apology, no panic. Behind her, a man in my robe leaned against the headboard like he had paid the mortgage himself. I looked at him. Then at her. No screaming. No broken glass. No shaking hands. Just silence. She tilted her head. Almost bored. Deal with it. Deal with it. In my house. In the guest room I built for family. Something inside me didn't shatter. It crystallized. Oh, I didn't throw him out that night. That would have been emotional. I've never been emotional. I asked him his name. He answered like we were at a dinner party. Daniel. Unemployed. Recently, between things, apparently between my wife's legs, too. She didn't even try to hide it. We've been seeing each other for months, she said. Calm, casual. Months? While I was flying between Zurich and Dubai closing contracts, sending her pictures of hotel balconies, calling her from airport lounges, I remembered something then. Thanksgiving. 3 weeks earlier, my daughter-in-law had called. If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes. She'd shouted over the phone, loud enough for others to laugh in the background. I had paused. Then replied, enjoy. I didn't explain that I wouldn't be in town. I didn't explain that I was finalizing the purchase of a lakeside villa in Switzerland. I simply hung up. That night, after she posted photos of the family dinner without me, I uploaded something too. A picture of my new property overlooking Lake Lucerne. Glass walls, marble floors, private dock. My phone rang 71 times. Suddenly, I was important again. Interesting how value works in people's minds. Standing in my hallway now, staring at Daniel's smirk, I realized something else. They didn't think I would react. They thought I was predictable, passive, safe. That was their first mistake. The next morning, I made coffee. 3 cups. I placed one in front of Daniel. He looked confused. You're okay with this? He asked. I smiled faintly. Of course. Shock unsettles people more than rage. I left for my office as usual. But I didn't go to work. I went to see a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, a shark. The kind who doesn't blink. I laid out everything. Property deeds, financial records, the prenuptial agreement she signed without reading carefully years ago. The house was in my name. The guest room was mine. Every renovation, every payment, documented. He leaned back and smiled. This will be efficient, he said. I didn't tell her about the filing. Instead, I hired a private investigator. Phone records, bank transfers, messages. There were many. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was strategic, encouraging Daniel to move in, planning to claim cohabitation rights, preparing to say I had abandoned her for business. Clever, but not clever enough. I gathered everything. Screenshots, receipts, a timeline. At dinner, I asked her gently, "Are you happy?" She hesitated, then nodded. Yes. I studied her face. She believed she had already won. That certainty would make the fall worse. The court order came quickly. Temporary removal of unauthorized occupant. Protection of property assets. Initiation of divorce proceedings, citing infidelity and financial misconduct. I came home that afternoon with 2 uniformed officers. Daniel was in the kitchen, eating my food. She was laughing at something on her phone. The laughter stopped when she saw the police. "What is this?" she demanded. I handed her the folder. Inside were printed messages, transfers, the legal notice. Her face drained slowly. Daniel stood up, defensive, angry. "You can't just—" One officer stepped forward. "Yes, he can." I watched Daniel pack in silence. No shouting now. No bravado. She grabbed my arm. "You're overreacting." I looked at her hand on my sleeve, then at her. "You said deal with it." I paused. "I did." Her eyes filled. Mine didn't. Daniel was escorted out of my home like a trespasser, because that's what he was. As the door closed, she collapsed into a chair. "You're destroying everything," she whispered. "No, I replied calmly. You did. I showed her one more document. The villa in Switzerland. Not a shared asset, purchased under a separate holding company months before. She had seen the photos. She had imagined herself there. Her voice cracked. You were planning this? I shook my head. I was planning security. Silence filled the room. Heavy, precise. I'll contest it, she said weakly. You can try. The prenup was airtight. Infidelity clause. Financial penalties. She had signed it with a laugh 10 years ago. She wasn't laughing now. My phone buzzed again. My daughter-in-law. I declined the call. Some invitations lose meaning once you understand the people behind them. Oh, the house feels larger now. Quieter. Clean. Her things are gone. The guest room is empty again, as it should be. The divorce finalized in 6 months. Efficient. Controlled. She tried to negotiate. Apologized once. Cried twice. Too late. I moved to Switzerland last week. The lake is calm in the mornings. Still, honest. No one tells me to wash dishes anymore. No one tells me to deal with betrayal. My phone doesn't ring 71 times. It barely rings at all. Peace is quieter than revenge, but far more satisfying. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't break anything. I simply removed what didn't belong. And in the silence that followed, I found something better than love. Control.